Hey, what's good? What's good, y'all, man? It's your boy CP. I'm back in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I got the vacation blues right now, so I'm feeling some type of way. Um, because I loved being in Colombia. I love being in Cartagena. The place is like home to me. It's a beautiful area. I have a beautiful family. Um, that is, you know, my fiance's family. And honestly, I just love the fact that I'm able to feel that loss, feel that missing of something a part of me. And I recognize that feeling, and I recognize that I myself have have been in search of that feeling of home, that feeling of a place where I belong. And honestly, Colombia is that place. Colombia is that place. I literally felt like home. I literally felt like I belonged um, around family, which is not my blood family, but my fiance, which is my future wife, family. I really felt like I was at home when I was there, and I truly, honestly believe that me and her family have so much in common. I recognize that. And I want to I want to talk about this question I've been getting lately. Pretty much everybody's been asking me, you know, why would you go all the way to Colombia, lay down with a girl, meet this girl, become very familiar with this person, that to the point where you want to marry her, and make her, your for life person, and y'all don't even speak the same language, you're not even from the same country. People try to jip people when they're from other countries, and they link up with somebody who's in America. Sometimes they want to get papers, sometimes they want to get this, all that other stuff, right? So to answer that, man, I don't live my life in fear. um I don't I don't shy away from taking chances, but what I do like to do is ensure that I'm doing things with purpose. So that's what I learned through all these years of, going through my hardship, going through the things that I've been through in my entire life, is when you do things, as long as you do it out of purpose, it really doesn't fall back on you, because it's something that you wanted to do. It was purposeful and it was meaningful. So with me and my girl, um, I literally manifested my woman. I literally prayed about it. And if y'all really know me for the past, I've never been like this super religious person, but I reached rock bottom in my life, like, recently. When I say recently, in the last 3 years, um, I went through I went through a divorce, separation, custody battles, and things of that nature. And I really truly hit rock bottom, like, in the past few years. And in that experience, I honestly felt like that I wanted to conquer the world, or I wanted to conquer the things that were happening to me. I wanted to get back at people, basically. So that's what I set off to do. I went out, I got back at people, not back at people as in a literal sense, but I literally became a playboy. I became this guy who's like I don't know, like a person who didn't really care for women's feelings, and I would tell them anything that they want to hear, just so I could sleep with them. And I would tell them things just to keep them around for a little while, or manipulate the situation to where I can have them just for that physical connection, physical aspect of it. You know, I went through that whole phase of just not being truly who I am. I became something that was the shadow part of myself, basically. So everyone has two sides of their self. It's like their true self and there's their shadow self. I became my darker self. You know what I mean? Because I literally, in my marriage, at least I felt like I was a very sweet person. I went along with everything, and I was easily taken advantage of. But post my marriage, I made the opposite. I did a lot of the taking advantage of. Um, and throughout this experience, what I've realized is that this is not who I want to be. This is me, but it's not who I want to be. I need to separate myself from that type of person. And it was just like me repetitively uh, getting addicted to a situation where it allows me to lust. So, and that's why it was so easy for me, because I was indulging in a lot of lust. And a lot of lust. I was sleeping around, messing with multiple different women, playing them against, playing them and making them feel like, they were the one in that moment. But then after I was done with them, I would damn near ghost some of them. Or I would, purposely cause certain situations just so we didn't have to see each other or talk to each other. So through that experience of realizing, like, damn, I'm being a messed up person, I realized I don't want to be that person anymore. So I went to my chaplain, which is it's like a military priest in some sort of way. It's a little bit different, but it's like a job in the naval, in the Navy, where they pretty much act as a priest, and they give the religious advice. So I went to them, and I told them, because you can confide in a chaplain, you can tell them anything you want. I told them what I was doing. I told them how I was indulging in lust, and I was doing all these things that I feel like I am not being truly who I am, and I'm being a bad person. So what they ended up telling me to do was, hey, you need to pray to God for a wife. And you need to write down exactly what type of wife you want. What does she look like? Where she possibly be from? Like, describe it. Describe your entire picture of a wife. So that's what I did. I literally described, and I'm telling you, I literally described. This is exactly what I described. I pray to God for a woman with curly hair, an island type of girl, somewhere from the islands, tropical, a little bit of brown to her skin, speaks a little bit of a different language, or Spanish preferably, and just perfect for me and my children. And a sweet woman, a kind woman, a woman who's gonna be submissive, and a woman that I can fully take care of, and she allows me to take care of her. And lo and behold, I think a few months later, I met, my girl now. I met her, and I'm like, how in the hell did that happen? And I'm thinking about it, because like I'm kind of like just playing it off. I'm trying to be the cool guy, because I'm still in my my stage of just playing with females and everything like that. I'm trying to be the cool guy. I'm trying to act like I don't like her like that. But deep down inside, like, every time I would have some alone time, I would go take a shower where I'm not with my girl, I would like, God damn, why do I like her so much? Like, I would literally ask, like, God, who is this person? Like, why do I like her that much? Like, what do I love her? Like, I don't even know her like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking, like, this is very weird for me to just like someone this much. And then I'm thinking, and a few days go by, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like at a restaurant, and I find myself kind of like just all over a little bit. I find myself like, oh, like I'm touching on her, rubbing on her, my hands are caressing her body and everything like that, and I'm just like, damn, I need to back the hell up off of her. Why am I all up on her like that? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm like falling head over heels for this girl. Everybody's just looking at me. And then, like, obviously I'm receiving the same energy, but I'm like, damn, like, why am I doing, like, I'm not playing it cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing it cool how I usually do it. And I started to realize, oh, shoot. She acts exactly like the woman I prayed for. What in the world? And I had an epiphany. I was like, God literally sent me a wife, and it's the exact replica of what I prayed for. And then I started thinking, my mind immediately went into doubt. I started thinking of the song Devil in a New Dress by Kanye West and Rick Ross. I started thinking about it like devil in a new dress or whatever, whatnot. I started thinking about that song like, no, sometimes, you know, the devil could put someone in front of you that you think is the right one, but, you know, they're just, you know, a glimpse of what that could be. So I started thinking about that for a while, and, you know, I never believed it, but I always kept it in the back of my mind, just so I wouldn't fall head over heels for that person, and I wouldn't be totally in love without any logic, right? So what I ended up doing was, you know, I kept dating my girl. I kept going back and forth to Colombia, dating her, and like actually being around her just to see if there were signs or anything. And obviously we had like little arguments, you know, like little arguments. We're completely past that puppy dog stage, you know, where everything is fine, everybody trying to put on their best character. No, we're in that stage where we're totally comfortable around each other. And after just being around her so many times, I realized, like, no, like, this person is exactly like me. I have more in common with this person that I've ever had in common with anyone I've ever met, any girl I've ever met. And not only do I have more in common with her, even though she speaks a completely different language, we do and love the same things. And I'm not afraid to try new things with her that she wants me to try. She's not afraid to try new things with me that I want to try. So it's just like we're like a match made in heaven. And, you know, I realized that, like, damn, I really love this girl, you know. And I started to find myself like, oh no, I'm head over heels for this person. Like, I'm totally lost for words. I don't even know how to describe how I love this girl, you know. And I started to realize that, and that's why I ended up proposing to her. Because I had to. I was like, no, like, I know for sure that you are my future wife. Like, I know. Like, there's no doubt. Typically a man knows within a month of if that's wife material or not. But I knew she was wife material. I just didn't know if she was the one for me. But then after visiting her so many times, I was like, no, that's the one for me. That's the one for me. And I say that to say this, man. Throughout, I literally had to hit rock bottom of my life. And this was this is before, during, and after I prayed for a wife. I had to hit rock bottom in my life just to see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is my future wife today. I literally had to hit rock bottom just to get to that person. Just to get to that person. And I would do it again if I had to. I would do it all over again just so I can get to this woman, because that's how great of a person she is. And not only great of a person she is, her family is great. Her father is a good person, her mother's a good person, her grandparents, everyone, they're all good, genuine people, just like my family. They're all if you ever met my family, none of them are scammers, none of them are robbers, none of them really dibble dabble in that kind of things. Same with her immediate family, like, they don't do those type of things. I know Colombia has a bad rep, and like that's their history, but they don't indulge in those things. My girl doesn't do drugs. She's never done any drugs in her entire life. Neither does her family. The most they do is alcohol, which is, typically what my family does anyway. So, and I started realizing, I started thinking, the more and more I've kept visiting Colombia, I realized how much of her family was just like, or the same as mine. My family, which is located in Houston, Texas, which is typically the coast, right? The coast part of Texas. Her family is located in Cartagena, Colombia, which is the coastal part of Colombia. Our families have more alike than a family that was up here in Virginia. Like, if I were to meet a family up here in Virginia, they'll be totally different than a family would be in Houston. You know what I mean? Like, my family does, like, the things that we eat, the way that we speak, the things we talk about, the beer, the liquor, the partying, the dancing, the relaxing, the hospitality, everything is the same. And I just realized, man, like, and I say this to say this, man, y'all have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone. A lot of times you think that it's not the same experience, or you think they're not the same people over in other countries, but you might have more things in common with people in other countries than you do in your own country, a little bit far north. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine if I was dating a girl from New York. That's a completely different culture shock to me. And Colombia, to be honest with you, Colombia was not a culture shock. Like, not even a little. Like, meeting her family was not a culture shock. I didn't feel out of place, not once. Aside from not being able to pick up on the speed of the Spanish. That's about it. Not being able to pick up on the speed of the Spanish is the most difficult part of me and getting to know her family. That's the most difficult part. Just not being able to pick up Spanish. Aside from that, man, dude, when I tell you that me and my girl and our families are the exact same, like, I could bring them all over to my family reunion and we will all just get along. Completely speak different languages and we will all get along. All get along. I guarantee it, because I literally went to her family's house and we all just sat together, broke bread together, did everything together, and we had a good ass time. We drank beer, we danced, we partied, and it just felt so normal to me. It just felt like so much like home. And I pray that other people receive that type of feeling. A lot of people were trying to find Mrs. Right, and then they end up finding Mrs. Wrong, and it's because they're looking in the wrong place. A lot of times you're just looking in the wrong place. You have to find something compatible, and don't be afraid to go outside of your comfort zone. Going to a different country could be the best thing for you, because that could be something that you actually want. A lot of times when you're here and you're in the United States and you're trying to, find your next, girl, if you're more into career-driven women, then that's what you're going to find here. You're going to find more career-driven women. You're going to find women that are more individual, can do things on their own. And if that's what you like, that's fine. Me personally, I don't like that. I like family-oriented women. And that's exactly what my girl is. She's family-oriented. We are very close with our family, and we don't care if anyone tries to F with our family, or anyone tries to do anything where they can jeopardize our family. We remove them. There's no question. So that's how we operate, me and my girl. We're very family-oriented people, and her gender roles are respected as well as my gender roles are respected, and that's why I'm able to easily make that decision in saying that I want to marry her without even being able to be well versed in Spanish. Yeah. I said it. I'm not well versed in Spanish. I'm not that good. I'm good enough. Like, I'm good enough. Like, I can speak Spanish. But am I good enough to go live in Colombia right now? You know, and completely just start, integrating myself with society? No, I'm not that good yet. I can integrate myself, but like slowly but surely. When it comes to like me just knowing the language and stuff like that. But I do think at some like language, it takes years to learn. It takes years to learn and years to develop. So that shouldn't stop you from getting to know that other person, or knowing that the other person might be the best thing for you. Yeah, and I don't get that. Like how people will think that, I know a lot of times people do get like gypped. A lot of people get tricked into these type of situations where, they tricked into falling in love and everything like that. And then as soon as the person gets their opportunity to leave or get what they want, like their papers and stuff like that, they leave. They just up and dip out and stuff like that. I know people do go through those situations. But at the same time, what I feel like happens is you go to these places with a negative mindset. When you go and travel, and everyone knows what happens in Colombia, is there are a lot of women who are giving their bodies just to make money. So a lot of women give up their bodies to make money. It is what it is. Like that's a normal thing there. It's a normal thing in a lot of countries. So I'm not gonna say the actual word of what it's called, but y'all know what it's called. A lot of men go there to indulge in that type of stuff. Me personally, I'm not comfortable with that kind of stuff. So if you already, like me, if I were to indulge in that type of stuff, I would be uncomfortable the entire time. Like I wouldn't be able to sleep well. I wouldn't be like, I would always feel like somebody's watching me or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too much negative energy for me to be around. So I don't have that type of negative energy within me. And the reason why I'm saying this is for my next point. I don't have that type of negative energy within me to go and do those type of things. A lot of people do. A lot of people come to Colombia to indulge in those type of things, where they, sleep around with women, and they get escorted and stuff like that. They do those type of things because that's who they're comfortable with. Something's wrong with, their spirit. Seriously, like if you're comfortable with doing things like that, something's a little bit off with your spirit. But I say that to say this, like when you have that type of when I came into Colombia, I came with a positive mindset, looking for a wife. I came in looking for the woman I wanted to be with, and that's what I received. Is because it's about energy. It's about what you attract. If you come with that type of positive energy, and you're gonna attract that positive energy back. You're not gonna attract some whore, basically. You're not gonna attract a whore. You're not gonna attract a person that's up to no good unless you're up to no good. You know what I'm saying? So don't compare your stories with other people, because a lot of people go to Colombia with the wrong, or they go to like other countries with the wrong mindset. If you go there just to sleep around, just to have your cake and eat it too, then guess what? That's what you're gonna get. Of course, you shouldn't be settling it down with the people you meet, because that's the energy that you're attracting. But if you go there, if you go to these other countries, or you indulge in these in these festivities that are positive, that's what you're gonna get out of it. You're gonna get a positive reaction. You're gonna get positive feedback out of it. And that's all I wanted to say, man. Don't be afraid to find love where it's comfortable to you. Like, in the back of your mind, like, in the back of your spirit that it can be comfortable for you. And don't be afraid to, like, just to try something new, man. That's what I did, and I'm I'm happier than I can ever be. I'm actually sad right now because I got the vacation blues and everything like that. But I'm happier than I can ever be, man. I'm literally like ecstatic that I found someone who was exactly like me. Grew up the same. We all eat the same foods. We we speak the same lingo, but not the same language, which is fine because eventually those things are gonna collide anyway. But at the same time, like we are very. I did everything with purpose, and I did everything in a positive way. I attracted the energy that I was, and that's how I got the person who I deserve to get. You know what I mean? And I got the person that I prayed for. I literally. So yeah, man. So yeah, a lot of people been giving me that question lately, man. Like, how could you do that? How could you just go to another country and trust the situation and everything like that? And it's not like I'm not oblivious to the optics of it. I'm not oblivious to the optics. I'm not oblivious to people thinking that okay, I can get gypped out of this situation. I'm not oblivious to that. I understand the risk that comes with that. But it was never my intention to be a effed up person towards another person. Especially in this situation. It was never my intention in this situation. Obviously, in my past, after post-divorce, those women, if I were to ever settle down with those women that I were messing around with, yes, I would have ended up in a situation where I was gonna get totally destroyed. Because that was what I was looking. I had the wrong mindset, the wrong energy in the way I was approaching these women. But I had the utmost respect and positive attitude towards my woman now. That's how I know I'm not going to get effed over, because of the mindset shift. The mindset shift and the positive the positive feedback I've been getting from my woman now. So yeah, man, honestly, I just had to say that. Like, I had to express myself because I've really been thinking about it. It's really been heavy on my spirit. I've really been thinking about how, this situation, how people are looking at the situation. To be honest, is no one's business. Honestly, is no one's business. But at the same time, I could see how people were like worried about me because they understand my past, who I've dealt with in the past and things of that nature. And people would be worried. People should be worried because of my past. But I approached the situation with a very positive mindset and so I expect to get a very positive outlook on it. But yeah, man, it's your boy CP. I had to come in. I had to give me a little shit talking session and just let y'all know, man, like, I'm all right. I'm gonna be all right. And I hope one day y'all all get to visit Colombia. Y'all get to visit foreign countries just to see that we're all more connected than you think. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But it's your boy CP. I'm out, man.